Last week in the JBL Cup Series, we had a absolutely wild race underneath the lights at Daytona for the Powerway 400, and with a early big one and damaged lap cars in the way, Alex Vitali was able to get his second win on the season and another win for the non-chasers. Here today, all of the chase drivers start up towards the front with just 4 races to go in season number 6. We are at a racetrack we've only been here one previous time. It is the Energizer 300 at Gateway Motorsports Park for race 25 of the 2025 JBL Cup Series season. Hello everyone, it is NS97, aka Nathan Stapleton here, and welcome to Gateway. And this is a very unique racetrack, and we've only been here one other time, and that was last year for the JBL Cup Series. And it was definitely one for the ages last year, that's for sure. And you gotta see what ends up happening. Of course, we had the Krispy Kreme National Series race last night underneath the lights. I'm sure that was a fun of a race. And now it's time for the Cup Series turn, with only 4 races to go. Gateway, Texas, Martinsville, and Atlanta. It's crazy we've gone to this point, but we still have a very tight and intense championship battle. We got LT back up in the booth for this one, and welcome to Gateway Motorsports Park.
Thank you having me in the booth again for another chase race, Nathan. I'm excited because this time around we are at Gateway, which is located just outside of St. Louis, Missouri. But we are not actually in Missouri, we are technically in Illinois on the east side of the Mississippi River. So I think we are in for a treat today, as last season's race was really fantastic with multi-groove racing and some really great battles. So yeah, with 4 races remaining in the chase, we see Logan Williams and Stuart Grant have distanced themselves from everyone else after last week at Daytona, but we saw a pretty big wreck here last season at Gateway, and we had some mechanical issues for some, so none of these drivers and teams can get too comfortable just yet. I'm excited to see who can come out on top here at Gateway today.
Absolutely, you touched on it. Last 2 weeks with KR, we had a multi-car wreck in that one. We've seen some mechanical failures last year, and we could see that happen. We've seen quite a few here this year in the JBL Cup Series, not as late, but this racetrack is very racy. Last year it was in the 90s, I think. This year it's a little bit cooler, in the 70s, 77, so a little bit cooler, but still gonna be a slick racetrack. Got some tire wear, and it's gonna be interesting on how this race plays out, because if this stays green, these guys will pit just past halfway around lap 32 to 34. But if we have a caution early on, then that can make them stretch it. So it's gonna be interesting how that all plays out. We do have a few non-chase drivers starting up front, and you can see Eli Bright with his fourth pole on the season, alongside Joe Lukowski, who I believe won here last year, and then Trey Bell inside the top 10 and 10th. But besides that, the rest of the top 10 are chase drivers, and then the others are just starting outside the top 10 as well. So we've gone to the point of the season. This could be one of the few chase races where a lot of chase drivers are up front. So how crucial is it for these chase drivers to have a good one here today, knowing that all 12 of them are all surrounded here in this one?
It's definitely important, Nathan. With all of them at the front, I mean, you cannot make any mistakes. You also can't go all out, though. You have to save your tires. You have to get to that halfway point where pit stops are. So it's going to be interesting to see who pushes it and who doesn't. We're probably going to see some comers and goers. Can the LMC duo stay at the front? Will they control this race? I'm happy to see that, by the way. We also have some tracks coming up, Texas, Martinsville, Atlanta. These drivers know that they got past the true wild card at Daytona, which I think there was also a wild card at Richmond. But is this another wild card race? When they get by this race, they got to face Texas, and then they got to go to Martinsville, Atlanta. These guys just got to get through this race and get some points out today, and hopefully stay consistent.
Absolutely, and this is a true wild card since time we've been here, but Texas, we've been there about 3 times before, and that track is predictable as a regular mile and a half. Same with Atlanta. But Martinsville, that's going to be interesting, because can be a crazy short track. But We got about a second half of fall off, and we gotta see what happens here in the Energizer 300. Logan Williams the is on top of the point standings with a 4-point lead over Matthew Hubert in second, Stuart Grand in third, -22, and Andrew Miller in fourth, -30. Those four still with a very much realistic shot at leading here as the point leader if things get crazy. Juan Garcia in fifth, -49, Nico Samadillo in sixth, -54. Alan Abel, who's on a hot streak as of late, in seventh, -56. Will Goodwin in eighth, -69. Duncan Wood in ninth, -72. John Anders in 10th, -73. Jordan Edwards in 11th, -82. And unfortunately, it's not been a good chase for Juan Kennington still up to this point. 12th in points, 106 points behind. And I will just quickly mention that the best of the rest standings is very, very tight. Buttle 504, Stan Vitale 503, Nick Lopez 492, Wachowski 491, South 481, and then Burnett 472. That's not really a title that you want to have, but it's something that I kind of noticed about because it's kind of interesting to see on who ends up being the best of the rest throughout the season. But it is Eli Bright, Mr. Pole Sitter here in the JBL Cup Series. He already has, I believe, the most polls on the channel, and now he has 4 of them in this season alone. And he is alongside Joe Wachowski once again for, I think, the second or third time this season, late in the season. And then in role number 2, we got Nico Samadillo still looking for his first JBL Cup Series win, and Jordan Edwards along with Samadillo looking for the first win. In the middle, and Logan Williams, two drivers not looking for the first win. And then Matthew Hubert and Juan Garcia. And then Aaron Apel and Trey Ball round out the top 10. And then because of all the chase drivers starting at front, we're not going to showcase, or we're not going to say of where all the drivers are at in the chase. We're going to just show you them. John Andrews in the 11th position. And then you got the number 47 and 12th of Stuart Grand. 13th is the number 19 of Juan Kennington. And then back here in 16th and 17th, and the number 3 and 8 respectively, are Logan Dorn and Duncan Woods. So it's going to be very interesting today with all the chase drivers starting up towards the front here in the Energizer 300. And I'm going to leave it up to you. This is kind of a wild card. We've only been here one other time. But who do you think will win the Energizer 300?
Good question. I think my pick today is going to be the driver of the number 11, Aaron Abel. He has finished in the top 6 in the last 3 races, and he does seem to be on a positive momentum swing. So I think he also had good speed at New Hampshire, which is arguably a similar track to here at Gateway. And I think that can translate into today, where I think he can get the win and maybe go right to the top of that Gateway arch and celebrate.
Yeah, might be a good pit there, and he's been on a very good run as of late. I believe 3 great finishes in a row at some wildcard racetracks. So let's see what Abel can do. I don't know if he has a try at the title per se, but he said recently in the Discord maybe top 5 in points might be in reach, and we gotta see if that is the case for that number 11 team. But is Eli Bright and Joe Wachowski leading us to the green flag, the Lexi Milk Club duo, once again for the second or third time. And we are green flag racing for race 25 on the season, and for the Energizer 300 at Gateway Motorsports Park. Only 4 races remain in season 6 of the JBL Cup Series. Map number 1, and the entire field is still side by side, and we touched on it. Surprisingly, there are 2 different lanes that can really work out here at this racetrack here today, and we will see that all race long. More importantly, it's like that in 3 and 4 than 1 and 2, as the 43 is going to run up the racetrack. but get a good one on exit, still side by side by both of the drivers, LT for the race lead, but now it's finally going to calm down with the 42 out front for now. And how about this 3 wide from Andrew Miller for the 3rd place spot?
Great racing early on. These guys want track position early. I was a little bit nervous with my drivers there battling for the lead. I'm glad they settled it out and are single file now with Eli Bright leading. But these guys aren't single file. They're still battling it out. Looks like 77 of Samadillo on the outside. He's going to try to get passed by 21 of Andrew Miller. Matthew Hubert looking to capitalize on it. My pick, Aaron Abel, right on the back bumper of the 5 car. Oh, you gotta be careful here. They are so close to one another. Hopefully they don't make any contact. Looks like they'll... Oh, Andrew Miller got tight there off of turn number 4, and he might lose position here to... Oh, Aaron Abel looks to the inside of Hubert.
And that's the unique thing. You can get tight, brake check a little bit off the turn 4, and that's what happened to Andrew Miller right there, but already some fantastic racing here at Gateway, and this is why we brought this track back. Sure, it was a little bit chaotic last year, but minus the chaotic factor of it, it was some fantastic racing, and we were seeing it early on here. Abel on the move, and you can just see all these orange banners, so many chase drivers all up front, but it is Lex and Mo Club 1-2 pulling away early on here, only on lap 5 of 60. Of course, I believe Lukowski won this race last year, and he's trying to get his first win on a kind of a disappointing season for Lukowski, unfortunately, and you've kind of mentioned it throughout the second half of the season of what could have been if the speed was at the start of the season. Lukowski trying to maybe dime in the corner on Bright, but not going to quite get there. Sam Hill in 3rd. Jordan Edwards still in for his first win. Meanwhile, Miller has 5 wins, and he won at New Hampshire early in the season, track similar to this. And then battle for the 5th or 6th place spot between Abel and Matthew Hubert.
That was a good, solid pass there for Aaron Abel again by Matthew Hubert on the inside. 34 of John Andrews is going to probably close in on the 5 car here too, and his teammate behind him in 38, Logan Williams, just waiting in the wings as well. Move back here, Juan Garcia trying to work the top line around Kennington. Stuart Grand, we saw him make an aggressive move on lap 1 to take a 3 wide, I think, on Trey Bardo. So he made some moves at the start of the race, and it looks like he's making his way towards the front. Looks like 8 car of Duncan Ward is also up there, 20 of Matthew Burnett. We got some good battling behind that. I saw Trey Bardo in the way outside lane. Oh, man, we're already getting loose. It's only lap 7, 22 of Bradley Ream. Just getting sideways there. These guys, I guess, are still racing really hard, Nathan.
There is some trial, but it's not the most ridiculous that we will see throughout the season. And they're taking advantage of it, but we saw that last year, off turn number 2 especially, when it was in the 90s, that corner got very, very sideways and very, very loose. It's still 77, so I'm not surprised that we saw a little bit of looseness right there. But how about the field? All pretty tightly together here early on in this one. And Blake going one high. Lukowski with a good one, but Blake is going to block his teammate. And the 9 goes wide, and here comes Miller going for the 4th place spot. And this is big for Miller. He's ahead of everyone that he's going for the championship right now. Ahead of Hubert, Gran, and Logan Williams. And right now, Hubert is ahead by 2 positions over Logan Williams. So that would be a 2-point difference between those two. Gran and Garcia going at it. And now here comes Burnett. He's kind of turning into a short track ace as of late. Could have won both Richmond races a couple of weeks ago if he didn't have a issue in the Cup race, but once again inside the top 15, top 13, as Dorn's gonna get sideways on his teammate on the inside of turn 4.
I love seeing that. I love seeing cars get sideways on the exits of corners. That just excites me so much. Obviously, it's a hot day here. Not as hot as last season, as you mentioned, but still hot enough to make these tires really slick and have these cars slide off of corners. We see the 77, though. He has caught the LMC duo at the front. I think Joe Rakowski is a bit faster than Eli, but he just can't find a way to get by him. Oh, gosh, he might move him there. As the owner of these cars, I'm wincing, but These guys got to be careful because obviously the 77 is fast, and he'll take advantage of these guys getting together. So, yeah, I think Rakowski's faster. He just can't find a way to get by the 42. 42 obviously wants that track position in clean air, so he's not going to give it up. But now Rakowski's going to be under fire from San Mateo here.
And San Mateo, he's hungry. You know, you got Bright and Rakowski, multi-time winners of the JBL Cup Series. San Mateo, a legend on AG, the channel, but he does not have a win in the Cup Series yet. He won some ARCA races the last year or two, but he wants a Cup win. He sits in the point standings. He still has a shot at this title if things get all haywire at Texas and Martinsville. So he wants a win, and so does Jordan Edwards. Jordan Edwards, a multi-season veteran up to this point, wants a win. And I think there's a move back here between the 19 and the 47, and the 40 as well, and I believe everyone inside the top 10 besides the Lex and Mo Club cars are in the chase. So this is kind of what I was looking forward to seeing once we got to the chase. Sure, it's been a little bit of chaos up to this point, but some good stuff so far. Rakowski one's a little bit wide, gonna block the 77, and I think the 43 is better than the 42, but I think the 77 might be faster than both of them.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the 43 might have burned his tires up a little bit just in the wake of that 42 car, and now the 77 is looking to get by Rakowski, and obviously Edwards is closing in too. You see Rakowski get a really good run off of turn number 4 in a couple laps, so he seems to be really good in those corners, but it seems 1 and 2, he seems just to struggle a bit. You see here he's probably going to get a little bit tight, as he has been the last couple laps, and it looks like he just can't get a turn 2 he wants. And obviously these guys are all stacking up. We don't really know who's the fastest now, because did the LMC cars burn up their tires, or is the 77 faster than both of them? Is the 9 car faster than all these guys? Oh man, that was a huge charge in the middle of the corner for the 9 car of Edwards. That was a good set right there. Can he get to the inside of the 77? I think he might just stay in line. Rakowski maybe make a look to the inside of Eli Bright? No, he stays in line. So maybe these guys are just settling in, and I mean, it's almost halfway through this first run, so maybe just they're taking care of their tires, Nathan.
Yeah, I think so, and we kind of touched on it. I think 3 and 4, there's that different lane. You see how much wider 3 and 4 is compared to 1 and 2. These guys are kind of dominating the corners, but they keep on blocking the car behind, as Edwards got going on same deal there. And every lap, it seems like Rakowski just gets tight in turn 1 and 2, and does not really take advantage of it. There's some tire, not a ton. Only about a second and a half, so not as bad as some other places this year. The top 9 are starting to break away a little bit. Kennington and Garcia in 10th and 11th. Garcia in 12th, Burnett in 13th, and then Duncanwood in 14th, Antoine in 15th, and then Lopez, Troy Barlow, Travis Crampton, and then number 45, Riley Ream, and last week's winner of Alexander Vitali rounds out the top 20. And how about Susra? Shout out to the 17 team. It's been a struggle this season for RFK. Of course, last year Logan Williams was in this car, and it was a title contender. So, struggling season, but just outside the top 20 for that 17 machine. But back out to the front, able to then side Miller for a top 5 spot. And, oh my goodness, Sam Deal went way wide in 3 and 4. These guys going all over the place now here on lap 17.
Yeah, same with Dio. I don't know if he just missed the line or if he's trying to find something else to get by these front 2. I don't know, but it just didn't work. We saw he just lost the grip and got tight off of turn number 4 and lost some ground. See Hubert go a little bit wide. He's going to lose a little bit of time to the 38 of Logan Williams, who is your points leader. So he's keeping the consistency going in 8th place. That's what he needs to do. Oh, man, he's going to get to the inside of Hubert. That's big because Hubert is 2nd in points. These two, every position matters, and here they are battling side by side.
Absolutely. Every position matters for these two, especially. Hubert only 4 points behind. As of now, he is 3 points behind. But if Locomus gets past him, then that will make it a 4-point difference. And the bad thing for Hubert, he has Williams' teammate of Strong Andrews right behind him. And I'm sure if Andrews has the car, he will more than welcome passing that 5 car as well. And it looks like Logan Williams is going to get past the 5, so it will be a 4-point difference for the point lead again. Abel looks to be faster on the long one, closing in on Andrew Miller again for this 5th place spot. But once again, it looks like the 77 might be losing ground a little, as it is still a Lexington Roll Club 1-2, but we're only 20 laps in, still got about 12 laps away from pit stops, and we gotta see how it all plays out. But it is Eli Bright on the pole, so start on the pole, trying to do what Trey Barlow did 2 weeks ago at a short track, and he's done every single lap so far in the Energizer, 320 laps down, but still have 40 laps to go.
Yeah, I think pit stops are going to be very, very important. I mean, we have the front 9 almost within 2 seconds of each other. So, who's gonna undercut and who's gonna go long? I think you mentioned there's 1 second of tire fall off, right? So, can these guys make up the time and can pass? I mean, some of these guys can pass several cars if they undercut. So, do they make that decision? Do they decide to go long to make sure they have faster pace at the end of the race? It's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, they'll take 4 tires and fuel, but they also have to watch. It's a narrow pit road. I don't think we touched on that yet, but a narrow pit road. We see Andrew Miller passing the 11 of Aaron Abel now for the 5th position. Unless he already had 5th position, unless Aaron Abel just went wide. But yeah, back to pit road, narrow pit road. So. You never know what could happen. With how tight the championship is, you do not want to make contact, but you also don't want to make contact on the track, and that almost happened for these guys. These points leaders, they're racing hard. They're not racing careful, it looks like.
Absolutely, and this is big. Sam Dio's trying to get to the inside and pass the 43 of Joe Lukowski. We've been saying it really ever since lap 10. Sam Dio looks to be better than the 43, and same can be said about the 9. I think the 11 might be faster than all of them here late in this one. And you touched on it. This is a very pit road entry and a very, very narrow pit road. This might be one of the most narrow pit roads as you see right there. It's basically 2 lanes. And we saw it last year. Under caution, things got a little bit hectic. So, gotta see how that all plays out here late in this one. But I'm liking what we are seeing late in this one. These guys are trying to go up the racetrack a little bit higher here, and this is what we saw last year. Some very good two groove racing, and Wachowski still hanging on to that 2nd place spot but for how long?
Yeah, the one person loving this is Eli Bright. He's saying, yes, teammate, please hold him up even more. I could create a gap here, and that's what Joe Rakowski's doing. He's holding strong on the outside. He's going to clear the 77. As Jordan Edwards now looks to the outside of Sam Adio. Can he make it stick? Not quite. He's going to get a little bit tight. And Aaron Abel, my pick, is going to close in. Looks like he's been closing some ground here on the leaders. He's going to look to the inside of Edwards. Don't know if he'll make it work. Edwards might get that run on the outside, but yeah, we're getting close to pit stops. These guys are under a blanket, these top 5. We see Logan Williams there, not far behind, but the rest of these guys, Hubert, Andrew Miller, they're battling back here, and they're losing time. So, I mean, I would want to settle this out and get single file so you could keep in touch with the leaders, but it doesn't seem like these guys want to do that. Stuart Grand has come out of nowhere and has found himself in this battle and is looking to pass all these guys.
Stuart Grand on the move, and I think we touched on it. It's about a second half of fall off. I think Miller has really fallen off late in this one. Once top 5, and now he's almost on the back half of the top 10, and he's going to be a 9th, maybe drop back to the 10th place spot for Andrew Miller here late in this race, or late in this first one, I should say. And it is still a battle between the top 6, and this is going to be very crucial on pit stops. Looks like Wachowski got on the outside in turn 1, and Sam Leo still faster, but it's so hard to make the passes. Easy to go side by side with all the different lanes, but it's hard to get to the inside of someone here. But Wachowski, once again, seems to be fast on the later part of the one, lap 28 of 60. Nothing has happened yet, according to the chat, so it's been a clean race so far, but some great racing up front. Wachowski gets a little bit sideways off turn number 2 there, and maybe has a shot with Eli Bright here in turn 3 and 4. and it's gonna be interesting of what ends up happening. If you were a crew chief, what would you want to do? Undercut or overcut?
Oh, as we have a battle for the lead, I was going to answer undercut, but Eli Bright must have missed the corner, and Joe Rakowski has gotten to the inside of Eli, going into turn one. Oh, Eli might. Oh, what a charge by Joe in the middle of the corner. Side by side, LMC battle at the front. Simadio's looking at his chops. He's like, well, if these guys are going to go at it, I'm going to maybe shove both of them out of the way and take the lead.
Well, that was a poor time for me to ask that question. What a one from Rakowski, and what a one from Samuel. He's going to try and get to the inside of the 42 as well. And he's still going to be side by side like the Abel going number 11 with a huge one. He's not going to make it 3 wide. I thought he was going to for a split second. And just more fantastic racing. But the bad thing for Abel, Samuel, Williams, and Edwards is in all of that, both Lex and Motor Club cars still are 1-2, they just swapped each other. So, that was not ideal for third on back. As Logan Williams once again is on the move. Sam Deal, I think, the problem is Eli Bright, I think, is slower than Rakowski late in this one. So, Sam Deal is really going to want to get past that 42 as fast as possible. But we're halfway through this race now in the Energizer 3. And what a race this has been. Good battling all up front with the top 5, top 10. And I think pit road will be open at any time now here in this one.
Yes, it's going to be interesting to see what these guys do. Oh, here we go. Yep, pit road starting. Aaron Abel in, Jordan Edwards in, undercut. Can this work? They were in the lead.
Oh, and we're under caution.
We're under caution? Oh, man, for what happened? It was a pit road entry?
I don't know what the caution is for. Oh, and 1 and 2.
Oh, I see tire marks. Yep. Someone went straight into turn 1 and 2. I don't know if they got help, but
I don't see anyone damaged, so I don't really know who it was. But 4 chase drivers of Abel, Edwards, Hubert, and Miller on pit road. We will do a wave around, so it might not hurt them too bad here if they are on the tail end, but oh boy, that was a poor time for that caution. And now, instead of having maybe a couple cars at a time on pit road, we are going to have about 32 cars on a fairly narrow pit road here at Gateway.
Yeah, they definitely have to be careful here. You don't want to get any damage because that could be detrimental to your race. These LMC guys, obviously, they have the front 2 stalls, so they should be okay. I don't want to promise anything, but hopefully they're okay. Most of these guys are going to be at the front of the pit road, but it's probably the middle part of pit road you want to watch out for. Some of these guys, looks like obviously 4 tires and fuel for most of them. 6 car coming in. Yep. So here we go.
Good for now, but this way you gotta be very careful. It's a fairly narrow pit lane, only 2 wide, and looks like we are gonna be good this time around. So these guys have learned of what not to do after last year's race here. Oh my goodness, that was a little bit close with bottle up ahead, but it looks like we are good. And that was a fairly nervous time based on what we saw last year. But it's gonna cycle out with maybe it might be the 11. We gotta wait and see if they are on the tail end or not. But if not, then it will be, I think, the 43 of Rakowski being as the race leader. Williams with a good stop. He's gonna be second out of the group that just put under caution. And we gotta see how this all plays out. Duncan Ward's gonna have a shot now. So this is gonna be interesting. A lot of moving parts and pieces on this pit stop. And we're gonna go ahead and see what happened to bring out the first caution of the day. And we will sort everything out, see of who the race leader is, and actually, we don't have to. It's gonna be the number 11, and I believe the 19 is gonna be a lap down, and we will get him out of the way. So, that ended up being a very good call for Aaron Abel. They got lucky, and it would be Aaron Abel as our race leader. And we'll see what happened to bring out our first caution of the day here in the Energizer 300. Well, here we go. This is what happened about the first caution of the day, and this is not what we thought. We will say what we thought it was after the cut here, but It's not what we thought, but it was actually between the 4 and the 15. Two rookies just getting into each other entering turn 1. Halverson got into the back of the 4 of Kenneth Miller and just turned them all the way around entering turn number 1. And both of them are going to hit the outside wall. And the 15 with a kiss and an actual hit for the 4 right there of Kenneth Miller. And that's unfortunate. We made a simple caution here, but this is going to split the race in half. And it's going to be interesting on how it all plays out. And then you see the 19 having his fuel system issue a lap or 2 earlier than that of the actual wet. So tough play for the number 4 of Kenneth Miller, but we have the caution here. Right around halfway in the Energizer 300.
Alright, so I don't think there's any other way to call this one. I think the 15 just, I guess, got frustrated. Yeah, he was stuck behind the 4 car and ran right through him and almost took himself out in the process. Gave himself damage. So, yeah, just rough look for the 15. Just a rough season for him. I guess that frustration translated into this race, and he took it out on the 4 car. Kenneth Miller, obviously, I don't know if there was more to it, but runner-up last week, but he's going to get taken out in turn 1. Just, yeah, questionable by the 15, but I don't know.
Yeah, that was definitely interesting. Short track tempers, I guess. I don't know. But, honestly, we had some strategy, and before that, Aaron Abel was on pit road. If we can get to him, yeah. These 4 were on pit road. Miller, Edwards, Hubert, and Abel came in right as the caution was happening. And that is going to allow Aaron Abel to be the race leader. So, we got to see how it all plays out. And let's go ahead and get back racing with a 25-lap sprint to the finish here in the Energizer 300. Well, welcome back to Gateway Motorsports Park and the Energizer 300. And, honestly, you guys saw it, but our theory is that the 19 ended up having a fuel system issue right when pit stops were about to happen. And, both me and LT think that he might have gotten spun, or he just slowed down and made contact with someone and caused the skid marks in turn 1 and stopped on the racetrack. Abel, Edwards, Hubert, and then Miller, they all pitted a lap earlier, so they are going to be 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 5th. Volkowski is going to be in 4th. Logan Williams is going to be in 6th. Eli Bright in 7th. John Anders in the 8th position. Sam Dio in 9th. And how about Duncan Wood from top 15 to inside the top 10 now on this restart. 25 laps to go. Everyone should be good on fuel from here. And it's going to be interesting on what ends up happening. The race to the checker flag will be a 25-lap sprint to the finish. And Abel trying to get a 2nd win on the season. Back green in the Energizer 300. A great start from Abel. And a little bit of a checker for 2nd on bat.
That was a great start for Aaron Abel. Got a little bit of a gap for everybody. Rest of the pack, Rakowski, obviously he was the leader, so he's probably not too happy that he's stuck behind these 3 guys now in dirty air. Can he get those spots back? Hubert obviously looking to close the points battle with Logan Williams. Jordan Edwards, I think he might have gotten into Aaron Abel for the lead. He looks to the inside. Got some crazy battling back here, 3 wide racing. But up front, oh man, now we're going to go 2x2 going.
Oh boy, you know what? This is what Edwards wants. He wants his first career win here today at Gateway, and he might be in position to do so, but you mentioned it. Look at all the racing 2, 3 wide, all over the place, and this is just like the start. And now look at this 3 wide, but trying to go through the middle here. And Williams side by side, 3 wide. And, you know, I'm not surprised by this, but how hard it was to pass at the start of that first one. These guys are going after it here at the start of this one with 25 laps to go. And, oh my goodness, look, Williams moves Volkowski out of the way. Did I mention this is a short track? It's a 1.25 mile short track, but it definitely races like it. And we are seeing some bumpers being moved. And Logan Williams, the point leader, looking for win number 4 on the season. Meanwhile, Jordan Edwards trying to get his first career win here today.
and Jordan Edwards get it done. But Logan Williams, after that pit stop, he looks to be really fast. We see back here his teammate, 34 of John Andrews, looks like he's falling a little bit back. He's going to lose a spot. Oh, maybe not. With that charge to the outside, I thought he was going to lose a spot to Stuart Grand. It looks like he will. Same with Dio. Obviously, he was towards the front. Sort of, I don't think he had a good pit stop. He lost some track position there. Now he's going to be under fire from, looks like the RCR duo, who are really close together. Kind of worried me there for a second, but see Nick Lopez in the back there working a high line. These guys are searching around. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That almost wrecked it off of turn number 4. That's kind of surprising considering the tires are relatively new. But back towards the front, these front 3, I see a lot of blue and white right now, and all blue cars in top 3. Close battle. Logan Williams, can he look to the inside here, Jordan Edwards? I don't know, but he looks to be faster than him.
I think he is faster, and yeah, we got blue, and then mostly white, but still blue, and then we got white and red and white and purple. So a lot of white inside the top 5. And here we go, Logan Williams to the inside of Jordan Edwards. And for our point leader, Logan Williams, an all-time wins leader, looking for win number 4 on the season. And he's going to make that pass look easy on Jordan Edwards in the number 9. I feel bad for the Jordan Edwards. I feel like he needs to win at some point. And he can get one, I think, but I don't know if today's going to be the day. Logan Williams, he's been, I think, one of the fastest cars here today. And he does have the 3rd fastest lap. And he was fast on that first half. Slowly picked his way up through the field. And now he is our new race leader looking for win number 4 on the season. Edwards in 2nd, Wachowski in 3rd. Hubert in 4th. Right now he will lose a few points, and I'm not entirely sure on the top of my head, but I do know to get a couple more points for 1st over 2nd. So Hubert is, I think, going to lose about 4, 5, 6 points on Logan Williams for the point lead. Wachowski going for 2nd here as a non-chase driver. Abel in 5th, Miller in 6th, Grant in 7th. The top 4 in points all inside the top 7. Bright continues to fall back in 8th. Same deal in 9th. And then Johnny in his rounds out the top 10. Lopez having a good one. Same with 20. And then once again, great one from Monaco. One inside the top 15. The top 16. And still great one from 17 now inside the top 20. Battling with the 6th season veteran of Travis Crampton. Tough day for Troy Barlow. Tough day for some of these drivers that we've not really seen a lot this season. Zach Fitzgerald was on a 1 for the last couple of races, but not anymore. And then, of course, some of these guys just have had a rough season up to this point, as the 10 is on pit road, and the 10 blew a motor here in that machine. And while we were going through the field, Edwards got past the 43, but for how long, as Hubert and Wachowski are closing in fast.
Yeah, I think what happened was the 43 tried to get to the inside of the 9 car, but the 9 car got such a run on the outside, and then the 5 car actually, I think, got to the outside of the 43, and that just stalled everybody. So, see here, 21 of Andrew Miller, you get passed by Stuart Grant, and Eli almost wrecking it off of turn number 2. Good save by him. He's probably not too happy with how the past couple of sequences have gone. He was towards the front, but now he's in the back a little bit. Joe Rakowski looking to the inside again on Jordan Edwards, but Edwards has been fighting hard on the outside. Can Rakowski get it done into turn 1? Hubert is probably going to follow suit. Depends how they enter turn 1. Yeah, Joe just gets... Oh, there he... Oh. It's that middle of the corner charge that Joe just seems to have. And can he keep to the inside of the 9? I don't think so. Yeah, so 9 is really fighting hard to keep that 2nd position, and it's allowing Logan Williams to just run away, to be honest.
Goodness, these 10 cars are fast up top, LT. Not only the 9, but even the 5 of Hubert looks to be fast here. And once again, Abel, he looked very fast at the end of that first one. And another thing that's win, if you're fast in the first half, you're fast in the second half. And that can be said for the 38, the 43, and the 11 especially here. And a great one from Abel, trying to get, I believe, his 4th top 7 finish as of late. And watch out for GLT Watch out for Stuart Ground in the number 47 on the move here inside the top 6. And it's going to be interesting of how it all plays out for especially the 38, because he might be in the lead. He's going to gain a few points on Hubert, Grant, and Miller, but not a ton with all of them being inside of the top 7.
Oh, man. 11 in the 43 almost made contact there. See Joe, seems like he's struggling. He's maybe burned the tires sitting behind a 9 car. Stuart Grand looking to pass Aaron Abel on the bumper of him, but you mentioned it. A lot of these guys at the top of the points are all at the front. You probably wonder what Matthew Hubert's thinking. Like, oh, I'm running 4th. That's a good points day. Oh, wait, the person I'm battling is leading the race. So he's thinking, well, I thought today was a good day, but, I mean, championship picture, he's losing points, and because Logan Williams is just pulling away. And, yeah, I mean, I feel like it's his race to lose. I don't want to jinx him, but he seems to have the fastest car right now, a 1.3 second lead on these 3 guys who just seem to keep battling. So, yeah, I don't even know who's the fastest of these 3. They just seem to be really, really similar in speed. But let's see, Logan Williams, did he about to, oh, yep, 1.3 again. So still the same gap. He's got 11 laps to go to keep it.
I don't want to drink some either, but I'm going to have to. The last time we were at a track similar to this was New Hampshire, the second to last race of the regular season. He dominated that race and he had a mechanical failure late. He's not really dominated this race, but he's had possibly the fastest car within the top 5. And now he is out front trying to get win number 4 on the season. And, you know, it's crazy. He did this last year. He really got hot in the second half of the season. And especially in the chase in that 17 car. And he's done this again. He won the regular season finale and he has 2 other wins early on in the chase. And he's trying to get his 3rd win in the chase and his 4th win since race 18 at Pocono. But still great battling throughout the top 6 as Wachowski to the inside of Hubert, now Brown to the inside of Abel, and all this is allowing Miller, Andrews, and same deal to close back in. And this has been this race basically. It's been the top 9 all together now. It's 2nd through 9th all clumped together. But that 38 is just out here, gained 0.3 of a second over the last couple of laps. 8 laps to go this time by here in the Energizer 300. What a race though here. A actual normal race. And I'm glad about that. Daytona was Daytona. Richmond was wild. And an actual normal race, but some fantastic battles all race long. 7 laps to go, and now is a 2-second lead for Logan Williams.
Yeah, I was wondering if you saw what I saw, and that was a 4/10 on that lap, and Logan Williams is just setting pace right now. He's just blistering. I mean, I think his crew chief might want to calm him down a little bit. You're coming to 7 laps to go. You got a 2-second lead. Just take your time, take care of the tires. Don't over rev the engine. You don't want to blow an engine here late. Just take care of it. Let's see what the gap is this time by. Is he still gonna be 4/10 quicker? No, he actually lost a bit of time. So maybe he is starting to take it easy and just listen to the crew chief. But yeah, we see Jordan Edwards 2nd place. Joe Rakowski and a bumper of him. These guys are all just very similar in pace. We saw Stuart Grant pass some of these guys. He might have maybe speed for the leader, but he's just stuck in traffic right now. So, yeah, I mean, these guys, I mean, they're single file and they're looking to catch Logan Williams, but I think he's just too far ahead at this point. See Joe Rakowski on the bumper of Edwards off of turn number 4. Is he going to look to the inside? No, he's going to stay in line. So maybe he's like, okay, let's try to catch the leader and stay in line. Yeah, well, I lost 4/10 that time, so I take back what I said about Logan Williams listening to his crew chief being careful. I think he's off to setting blistering pace again. So,
oh my goodness, he gained like 4.5 to 5/10 last time by, and that car is just glued to the racetrack, and he might be on his way to Texas Motor Speedway already. 5 laps to go here in the Energizer 300, 4-out point leader of Logan Williams. Just what a pace he has been on ever since the chase, but I feel bad for Jordan Edwards. You know, he had a top 5 car once again, and I think the win might be getting closer and closer for that 9 team. Got Texas, got Martinsville, got Atlanta left, and maybe has a shot here to get his first win. But that's not going to be the case here today. Wachowski trying to get the second place spot, but he's not going to quite get there. Off to turn number 4. He put almost to his outside here. And oh my goodness, Wachowski with a block, but does not matter. The 5 on the outside. And just shout out to A Enable. You mentioned that 3 great ones in a row, and it's going to be another great one for the number 11 team. Maybe a little bit too late at the shot at the tile, but maybe the top 5 points one might be on the cards for the seed veteran. And Glenn might get top 5 in this race, able to the inside of Hubert with 3 laps to go at the line this time by.
Yeah, I don't know how much he'll gain this time by. It looks like he'll keep it about 2.8. So he's got a comfortable lead. Aaron Abel, you mentioned, he's been very consistent. I mentioned it at the pre-race. Obviously, he's on a good momentum swing right now, and he's going to continue it here at Gateway, looking to the inside of historic Grattan. Kudos to him for the great run so far. I don't know, like you mentioned, might not be a championship run, but top 5 run is definitely in the cards, and it'll be good to see that. But coming 2 laps to go, looks like a lot of these guys are just going to be settling in position. I don't know how much more battling we could see. Maybe Grattan can get Hubert here. That could be good, big for points. But yeah, Logan Williams keeping a 2.9 second lead. He's going to be coming back to 1 lap remaining. And unless anything happens to him, I think he's pretty comfortable here, Nathan.
Well, we've been saying all Chase Long that he might be the king of the Reigns era, and it's going to be the power of 1 to go for Logan Williams in the number 38 machine. He has 3 wins on the season, and it's not going to be a huge points gain on Matthew Hubert, Stuart Granite, and Andrew Miller going into Texas next week, but it will be a few points. And what a dominant drive in the second half of this race from Logan Williams. It's going to be win number 4 on the season. I've lost count on how many wins he has on the channel at this point because he keeps on winning. But Logan Williams will win the Energizer 300 at Gateway in a fairly fun race here. Whew, what a race at Gateway Motorsports Park. The 16 had to pit late. Might have had a few drivers not be able to make it on field with the caution falling at a weird time. But Jonas gets second, and Joe Wachowski is going to get in third.
Yeah, that could have been big with fuel mileage and pitting. I didn't really picture that, but luckily all these guys made it. These championship contenders, you didn't want to see them run out of fuel or anything. But yeah, hats off to Logan Williams. Just heck of a run recently. I mean, I think that's his 8th straight top 10, if I'm correct. So he's turning it on when it matters. And yeah, hats off to Logan Williams and Benny Watson, the owner of Front Row Motorsports. Logan Williams and John Andrews have been very fast recently, and yeah, just hats off to that team, and congrats to him. Great race, though.
Absolutely, very fun race with all the multi-group racing, and that was definitely a lot of fun. Always long, and it wasn't until Logan Williams when we had someone that was able to really pull away. So a very competitive top 10, always long, and that was definitely a lot of fun. But I think we all said this at the start of last year, at the start of this year. I knew that Logan Williams would be a championship contender, but I didn't think he would be on this type of a run ever since like the second half of the regular season. And just what a run from Logan Williams, and always the all-time wins leader, always the king of the Reigns era, basically. But he just wanted to get his first championship on the channel here, and he might have a shot at the Krispy Kreme National Series title as well. So, gotta see how that all plays out. As always, I've not recorded that race that went up last night. I'm kind of out of order. But, what a race here at Gateway, like you said, and a very fun race with the 77-degree temperature. Definitely a little bit of a slick racetrack we saw here, and Logan Williams gets the win. Jordan Edwards in second, Wachowski in third, Hubert in fourth, Grant in fifth, Abel in sixth, Andrews in seventh, Sam Deal in eighth, and Miller in ninth. So, It's not going to be too much of a point loss for Hubert and Graham, but unfortunately for Miller, he's going to get the short end of that one. Still top 10, but his other 3 rivals finish ahead of him, and that's not going to help him in points. But great one for me, like Blytho as well. 4th pole on the season turns into, I believe, his 6th top 10 on the season. So, good one from that 482 team. And then it's the RCR drivers running out the top 11, top 12. Then Lopez great one in 13th. Same with Vitali, last week's winner, with a top 15 one out of nowhere. Garcia, Burnett, Crampton, Zeidel, Matthews, and Jordan South the top 20. Fitzgerald, Wilkinson, Susrai, Clifton, Ruiz, top 25. And it looks like there's only 4 drivers, with 3, maybe only 3 or 4 drivers, Marco, Barlow, Miles, and Kenneth Miller, that I think was not able to make it on field. Maybe the 19 as well. So maybe only 4 or 5. So maybe they just didn't get enough fuel in. The 19 had a fuel system early on, light around pit stops, and then the number 10 unfortunately had a motor go south on him. And that did not plan out yellow. But what's the final thoughts on a very fun race here today at Gateway? Local winners with another win. And you gotta see what happens with 3 races to go. Final thoughts, and how do you think Texas will go next week?
Yeah, that was a fun one at Gateway. I think we had a treat there. A lot of good battling, a lot of shakeups. Obviously, the pit road caution changed a couple things, but didn't shake it up too much. Where we saw guys in the back run at the front, right? So we saw the people at the front, run where they deserve and finish where they deserve. And yeah, just congrats to Logan Williams. I mean, that's his 4th win in the last 8 races. So it's weird how the season has gone. I think Andrew Miller sort of had the first half of the season on lock with winning a lot of races and consistency. And now I think the second half of the season is Logan Williams' time to shine with how many races he's winning and how consistent he's been. So it's interesting to see how this season is unfolding. Can Logan Williams keep that point lead into Texas, where I think it's going to be an exciting race. I'm looking forward to tuning in, not from the booth, but from, I guess, the grandstand, or from my home, and seeing a great battle for not only the race lead, but for the championship lead. I think it'll be a good one.
Absolutely. Texas is honestly one of my favorite monohalves on NR, with the version that we use. And it's kind of like Gateway, where you have so many different lane options, and that's going to be a fun one for the Rush Truck Center's 500 next week. Got 3 races to go here in the JBL Cup Series, and Logan Williams is looking really, really good. And can he get his first title on the channel? This could be his year, but congratulations to Logan Williams and Ben Watson for Front Row Motorsports on another win here. And until next week at Texas Motor Speedway for both National and Cup, we will see you guys then in the Lone Star State.